Hey, y'all. Happy Monday. Yeah, baby. Started for a new week. Thought I'd throw a little new angle at you instead of being upright like I normally am. Let's go a little sideways. Let's see how it does. Sideways. Anyways, hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I know I certainly did. One of the big things about this weekend is something that I'm grateful for is Sunday nights on ESPN. They now are showing The Last Dance, which basically a camera crew followed Michael Jordan in the 97-98 Chicago Bulls, their last championship year. They followed them throughout the season. And that is a team I grew up with. I mean, when it comes to Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, that was a team that I just loved to watch. They were exciting. As much as Jordan and Pippen were a lot of people's fan favorites, mine, of course, and for those who know me, would totally understand. Dennis Rodman, the worm, baby. That's why last night's episodes, oh my goodness, yes. I love that man. I admired him. I tried to play physically like him. I loved beating up people in the paint and just grabbing the rebounds, and that was my game. As much as I can shoot the ball, I love beating up on people, especially for my size. Being 5'11" is one of those where it's like I knew I was never going to make it to the NBA and that sort of thing. But basketball has always been one of my main sports, and I love beating up people, just pushing them aside, boxing them out, that sort of thing. And with my size, especially to do it to the taller guys, they're like, who the heck is this man? So that just, yeah, hearing him and how he reads the angles off the rim and all that jazz, oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, Rodman, the worm, that's my goat. That is my goat. He's the man. And as a coach, as a basketball coach, that's the thing I try to preach. Physicality, rebounding, going after the ball. We want those second chances. If we can get those second chances and stop the other team from getting their second chances, we're going to win the game. Every pregame speech, every halftime speech, that's always what I'm preaching is rebounding. Rebounding, rebounding, rebounding. If you can't rebound, you're not going to win the game. Okay, no matter how much you shoot the ball, if you can't rebound, you're not going to win the game. Anyways, so that's been nice watching that. The other thing, being a sports guy, like I said, oh my gosh, I am going nuts right now with how we don't have a lot of sports action going on. So MLB Network, they've been showing old games. They've been showing really old games, like way back in the day. Back when they didn't even wear helmets and that sort of thing. But then they've also been showing games that I grew up with, my childhood. And I love that because it helps me reminisce. It's just like with the final dance, or the last dance, excuse me, with that Bulls team, with watching like the 88 World Series, 89 World Series, that Oakland A's team that I grew up with, I grew up watching, going to the games. That was my first baseball game. My dad took me to an Oakland A's game. I love it. A's versus Tigers. It was a spontaneous trip. We weren't even supposed to go to the game. We were going somewhere else. And that was my first trip to, even San Francisco. He took me around the city. Then we went to the game in Oakland. And I still remember that because the final out was made by Mark McGwire running into that huge foul territory that they have at the Coliseum, and he tripped over the pitching mound in the bullpen. Still made the catch, rolled a little. It was fantastic. That was my first ever game, Detroit Tigers and Oakland A's. And then a couple years ago, to go to Cooperstown for the first time in the Hall of Fame ceremony, I actually got to see two of the guys that I got to see in that game. They weren't A's players, unfortunately, but they were Tigers players. So I got to see Alan Trammell and Joe Morris get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and that was really cool. That was some cool stuff because I'm like, wow, that was the first game I ever went to. I got to see those Tigers against the A's. Oh, fantastic. So that's the third thing that I'm grateful for is reminiscing. A lot of times we forget where we came from. We forget what our childhood was about, how we were raised, where we were raised. Sometimes we move around so much that, in our adulthood, that we forget our roots. And coming back here to Stockton these last 4 years, has helped me remind myself who I am, where I come from. Because I was born and raised here in Stockton, and then move around. Went to San Jose, Reno, Vegas, Fresno, and it's just one of those things. That's places that I've lived, and seeing all those different places, and it was fun. Made some great friends, all that stuff. To come back here to Stockton and see a lot of the people I grew up with who are doing amazing things here in town, and we all want to help out one another. We all want to be a part of something together, and I love that. I really love that. So, yeah, reminiscing about where I come from. My biggest thing is I try to give back, to the community when I can, and as a basketball coach, one of the ways I can is recruiting. Trying to help, athletes here in Stockton get out and, go to where they need to go. You know, give back to the community that way, the way I can. Just like with Vegas, just like everywhere I've been, it's the idea that I want to help these student athletes realize there's more than just where they're from. They don't need to forget about it, but go and experience it, and then you can always come back and give back that way. Another way I give back to the community is I teach. I work with kids here in town. I work with the same kids that I was once. And I help guide them and show them the way. And that's just some great things. And yeah, Stockton has community. For those that want to knock it, for those that want to be like, it's Stockton. No, Stockton's got community. Just like with everywhere else, you just have to be willing to go out there and find it and be a part of it, and don't hide behind closed doors and be scared of it, because Stockton is no worse than any other city I've lived in. There's always going to be places where you don't want to go, places that you just want to be careful about, just be aware about. So don't knock it. I love my hometown. I love living back here in Stockton. I love being a part of the community again. Like I said, all my friends, all my family, it's been great. It's been glorious. And yeah, that's my thing, reminiscing. I've really been reminiscing lately, and it's been great. So I know this one's a little bit longer. I've rambled on a little bit too much, but when it comes to reminiscing about old times like the Chicago Bulls, like the Oakland A's and all those baseball games, and just about my childhood and growing up, and how, yeah, you have your ups and downs, but when it comes down to it, I love it. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything about my childhood, about the way I was raised, because it's made me who I am. It's made me the person I am. And that's why I try to go out and I try to live it. I try to love it. I try to be happy as much as possible. But the biggest thing is always ruling the day, and that's what I hope y'all do. Go sit somewhere nice and relaxed. Hopefully you won't have a rooster constantly doing his thing at you. But hey, I love y'all. Y'all are fantastic. Just in case you need to hear it, you are beautiful. You are smart. You are talented. You are amazing. Okay? Don't change nothing. Keep being you, because you are awesome. All right, y'all. I love you. Go out and rule the day.